Welcome back to Gamer Not Gamer Plays The Outer Worlds Peril on Gorgon. I'm Chris.
And I'm Tabitha.
And yeah, we had some technical difficulties with some file corruption, so we lost the video of us.
That's right.
So here we are watching our gameplay and just commenting as we go through, so...
Yeah, the good news is we always manage to maintain the gameplay. We always lose our files somehow.
Yeah. I mean, there are worse things, I guess, but...
You're like strangers? Because some of them are looking at us like, maybe not.
It's been so long since I've seen this, I'm not sure what happens sometimes. Always scroll through it because you never know what you find.
Several whiskeys and a few bits short last night.
That's a person. Oh.
Careful now. A preserved eye.
The things you find when you loot.
Is the preservative in before or after the eye comes out?
Oh, gosh.
Sorry, just kind of enamored just watching.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's funny because usually
Murderous Moon Man. I saw the words Murderous Moon Man on that page.
You already called him a murderous moon man like a million times. You're like,
yes.
No,
now there's proof.
Yep. Now there's actual evidence that it's all real.
No, that looked like a mistake talking to her. Yep, I was just trying to make sure my gun was reloaded or put away, and I kept closing doors.
Yeah, it's got to be funny to watch your own gameplay like this, huh?
Well, especially because I'm sure I commented stuff before, and I'm like sitting here like, you know, when I have control of the controller, it's a whole different story. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, look here, look there, and it's like, now I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a very
now you're in my position
experience.
Where I'm usually just like, oh God, why? Why is it all happening?
Why are there terrible things? And then, of course, the dreaded things. I will say on the, because I have played this a bit later on the Xbox Series X, mm-hmm. and load times dropped to like 10-15 seconds instead of like this minute and a half, 2 minute stuff that was... I mean, they give you 5 images and then they just kept doing this stuff. I just don't like the repetition. I think that it would be more interesting if they had taken the time to actually create advertisements or something for the world. That would have been a much better thing. More than just the anatomy monster. Of these. Yeah, just something better than the continuous anatomy of these terrible creatures that we don't want to see.
Yeah.
They're already hard enough to kill.
Yeah, like if they do the toothpaste ads or something like that, I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Well,
those
it's
are
like
fun.
they've got like 10 of these things that they cycle through and they just don't, they're not all that interesting. It's like you should have had like 20, 30, 50, 100 of them or something. Something, anything than just all this that we got.
Yeah.
Like loading screens, they need to take a page from Dragon Ball Z. Those games have the best loading screens because they have mini games on them. And it's like, let me do something while I wait.
I love that purple, the whole purple.
Oh, how like gradients
and everything. That's like my favorite.
Looks really good.
Probably one of the reasons I like cities so much is because they have these lightings that
the neon lighting and everything.
You just don't see that out anywhere else, and so
That's not Jeremy.
This unit is currently in wait cycle. Please return later. Have a better than natural day.
That's a nice phrase. I dig it. Have a better than natural day. Somebody would look at you like, what?
I think this is an anti-Cleo planet. It's like, you know, the stuff she says, like, better than nature, all that advertisement.
Oh.
I think that might be where he's from.
Good call. Well, there's Spacer's Choice logos everywhere. Yeah. So we know that there's got to be that kind of stuff.
Murderer, or the Water Colossus.
I misread things too.
Well, you're trying to read quick and stay up with everything, and doesn't always work out.
To say nothing of trying not to die when you're playing the game and everything too.
Oh, I died.
Yep.
I got hurted.
Uh-oh.
And then we fight our worst enemy of all, the loading screen. It's not only that you kill me, but you shame me too.
Yeah, like these I don't mind. I think that's...
Yeah, like these are great.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like seeing the insides of the creatures unless, you know, I'm the one who blew them open.
Yeah.
It's a point of pride thing.
Basically.
It's like I don't want to look at other people's stuff. I want to look at my stuff.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things we've talked about is that so far we haven't seen anything different. Like creature-wise, seems like they're all the same kind of creatures.
Yeah, across several planets. And it's like, you can't tell me that the same exact life developed on multiple planets.
On an asteroid, no less. This
it's
is
like,
an asteroid.
It's not
even a
possible.
planet.
Like...
So it kind of confuses me why the same kind of creatures would be here. I guess I can understand because they're doing like experimentation and things like that, and that's why. But I'm like, why would you let them get all loose and create? You know, I don't know. I guess to me, I'm like, that seems like one of those alien scenarios you don't want them loose.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a typical human scenario. You do the thing, and they always screw it up somehow, and the creatures get loose, get back into the wild, and then ruin the ecosystem.
Yeah. So I guess I was kind of curious of how maybe they could have imagined some sort of creatures that would have been more native to, say, an asteroid, which I get it. The whole asteroid itself is probably lifeless, but except for the spots where the dome is.
I think on this, I'm trying to remember if there's any creatures on this planet.
They have like the same kind of creatures.
Do they just recycle
they had
them again?
some, I think, like large gorilla creatures. They had some...
Oh, they just copied those from the other world.
They had...
It's just like, yeah, they had made like a gorilla creature, and they made these
manticore, mantiqueen.
Yeah, these insectoid creatures, and then they just kind of stopped, and then they made a few humanoid enemies to fight, and then that's just kind of it. Like,
preparing for extermination.
Oh yeah, and of course a few robots.
But these are so cool.
Dude, those are cool. But man, they do not make sneaking around easy. It's like if it lights up by proximity, it's like, well, I'm found.
Huh?
I ran right past that guy. I didn't even see him. Got my last bullet in on him. Nope, don't die again. I am better than this. Bob and wave. Wave and bob. It's like, I think what I was trying to do is I was just trying to go in guns blazing, and these guys are quite a bit stronger than what I've dealt with already. Oh yeah, and then I started finally using character abilities. Because when we respect, I added some points to leadership, which gave us enough to do that at least.
I think what's really hard for me is Parvati is not necessarily a good character.
Her abilities are good, but
they're all right. But you got other characters.
I don't mind.
Personally,
I don't mind her character.
I'm not a fan. I don't really care much for her character. I prefer Nyoka, I think. I like her banter with Sam especially.
I just like Sam.
Her commentary. But I think of all the characters, Nyoka is my favorite.
We have survived the skirmish. And now we save to make sure we don't repeat said mistake.
Always save your games, kids.
Yep, and loot the bodies.
Loot the bodies.
We're just making experience, just hand over fist. Yeah, again, those same kind of little creatures that we see everywhere. It's like, it's one thing to infest one planet. It's another to infest multiple planets across an entire galaxy.
Gosh, those images are great if you look up in the sky. Yeah, well, you know, what's this about? I mean, it seems like that would, you know, lure in animals. Why would you just do that?
You do that to scare off other people. You see a head on a pike, doesn't matter if it's human or not, you're gonna ask questions before you go that direction.
Sure it does. If it's an animal, I'm gonna think lunch, and if it's a human, I'm gonna be horrified.
I mean, I wouldn't think no lunch.
We are not vegetarians, to say the least. That was a little more helpful.
At the very least, it stuns them for a few seconds, so I've got one less guy shooting at me. So that helps a lot.
Oh man, that guy's really good. Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they
dart around.
Someone's getting you.
Yeah, they're always getting me, pegging me from somewhere that I can't see. See a barrel, shoot a barrel. It'll usually explode and deal damage to people.
Rod or crack shot. Jeez, these guys take a minute, don't they?
Yeah, I also suck at aiming sometimes.
Looks like you're aiming at him. Uh-oh, someone's got you.
No, it's damage over time. Oh yeah, and then the flaws. The flaws. Now these were a really neat concept for this game. It's like if you get hit by something or something happens to you too much, you get traumatized by it. And then you can take that weakness and then you get a perk point and put that in something else. That
is pretty fun.
That was a unique concept. I liked that mechanic. But they always gave it to you, like, you only get this when you run into that stuff a lot at the moment. And it's like, I'm on a planet that's full of just corrosive. It's like, I can't take that. I'm already getting killed when I don't do it.
Yeah.
And of course we sat here and we discussed our options.
Just wait for a long time.
Oh, and then we did decide to take it. The flawed hero. Take the flaw and then increase armor overall. Yeah, I mean, as far as like a whole leveling system went, I actually enjoyed it. Pretty straightforward, and it, and the flaws added a fun little mechanic to it. It's probably trying to find some kind of weapon that was stronger than what I had, because what I had just wasn't getting through these guys fast enough.
Yeah, I think a whole different tactic change is necessary.
See, you see that and you think food is that way, Tab?
Yeah.
See, I don't. That's classic tribalism.
Eh.
Put the heads on the pikes and no one will come this way.
Again, if it's just the heads of animals to eat, I like food.
Heads are not food.
Why not?
Nope, nobody eats the head.
I'm pretty sure this is a starving civilization here.
Well, it's like...
Surprised anyone could do anything with these creatures all over the place. And then it's like, you hit one, it's like, turns at you and just comes like crazy, like, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah, it just
You're
wakes
like,
all of them up, and then you got a bunch of them coming at you. And then I miss. And then they just come out of nowhere. I mean, they're just... And then I pull out the science weapon, start giving that a try. Because, again, it removes them from combat for a few seconds, giving me a second to collect myself. Then this gun, what is it, N-energy or something? Or N-rays or something? I'm not sure. I think that's what it is.
I don't know.
But it, eats through monsters.
It's much better, that's for sure. The
people, not so much, but the creatures I got through pretty quick with it.
So like frostosaurs now, I guess. So they call them
it's
something
basically
different,
just a mutated version of it, but
yeah,
it's like they shouldn't be on this planet to begin with.
No other automechanical unit simultaneously sanitizes, neutralizes, dices, and slices, and removes built-up stains like SAM.
Nobody cleans up messes like Sam. Sam is our robotic Gaston.
He is.
Initiating ocular measurement.
Preserve.
Measurement
That's so
complete.
funny. Like this whole like thing is like
Identification complete.
set up to where
Welcome,
your
Clarence
instincts will
Mosley.
really like tell you
Access
almost
granted.
exactly where you want to go.
Welcome
So it
to the
makes me
Office
wonder,
of
like, am I a
Creative
bad
Incubation.
guy? You know, like every time I look at these things and I'm like, I would go with that, but I'm like, in real life, would I really?
Probably not. No, because like in a game, you don't actually have to really deal with the ramifications of your choices. In life, you do, and they haunt you.
It's just like I don't even think I could hold the eye. I'm like, I wouldn't be able to. Okay, if I had to, I would.
I mean, if we had, I mean, it's just an eye. What's it gonna do? Hurt you?
I'm a mom. I've cleaned up some very dark things, so you're like, ah. But if there's no hand washing available, absolutely not.
That's what pants are for, Tab.
No. Handle that. That would just no. That'd be the worst.
I could think of worse things than holding an eye. Losing an eye, for one.
Yeah. It says it's perfectly preserved, though.
Yeah, it means it was most likely surgically removed and then put into embalming fluid or something to keep it, or whatever you do, you put that stuff in.
I'm reminded of Invader Zim when that little friend of his gives him the present. These things come out and rip his eyes out and give him new ones. You just see a shadow screaming.
So that's funny how the nose is clipping through the glass.
Oh,
And the eye, like, yeah, we're just gonna come through the glass.
crazy.
I would call that.
They didn't make it deep enough.
Yeah, whoever designed that didn't check their angles.
Gotta watch out when your cheats are being right.
No clip,
Hudson told
no
me 100
clip.
times the cannery couldn't afford spare parts for Bess. All while Spacer's choice was building this?
Someone's
Yeah.
been red pilled. Just learning the dark side of things.
Welcome to life. This is your first day. Here is your introductory packet. We've got another one getting self-awareness.
Shut it down. Shut it all down.
Bunch of not Jeremys laying around.
I think it's nice to see some clean environments, though. I mean, we're looking at some nice shiny stuff right now. I'm digging that.
Yeah, this is where the rich people were.
I'm usually
I mean,
griping about how all the stuff is so messed up. It's like, isn't this like futuristic or something? Why does everything look so messed up?
because if it works, it works. Has nothing to do if it looks good or not. And besides, some of these places have been abandoned for a while.
It's clearly that bathroom has.
It's like they're definitely gonna have a mold problem with all that moisture. I really did like that technology, just using little projectors like that to create signs.
They got one for Edgewater. Oh, it's just Saltuna. Come on, we got a volcano too.
The volcano is a highlight. So the favorite thing about going into museums and games like this that are open world is because it means you get to steal everything. And there's usually good artillery and stuff in there that you can get. Mine.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And even comes with a few boxes of ammo. Like, how much more presentable can you get? The perfect game. Yeah, that was a good chunk of damage that sucker did. Useless food. I will definitely still give them points. Like, they really came up with a good problem. Like, there's no way around it, per se. Like,
Not without the scientists.
yeah, I mean, you're all on a clock right now and you don't even know it. I will give the developers points on that one because
That really shocked me.
That's like, well, yeah, when you find that out, you're just like, good lord.
I almost
Like,
want to go back and give the first game an 8 just just for really surprising me. Doing well.
For once, they actually gave us something we haven't seen before, like
Before I gave it a 7, and I'm like, I might want to give it an 8 now. It's upon reflection. And of course, they made it worse with those worst pigs or whatever.
Yeah, you're eating their tumors.
I can't. No, just don't say the words. I can't.
Tumor pig.
No. I just shout no every time. Like, stuff happens I don't like. No.
There was a battle in this building.
It was a firefight. Where'd he go? I can't tell if you actually did something to him. Oh, that was that's a big one.
That's a big fella.
Sam isn't messing
Oh,
around.
got him right in the Achilles. Oh, kick him while he's down.
Man, getting a hammer smashed down on your Achilles? Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
After
especially
seeing our
like,
dad break his ankle, I don't think I could handle it. I could be like, no, please go intact. Please don't make me do this to you.
Sam's over there cleaning up.
This environment's filthy.
You will be sanitized. Do not resist. Flavor additive. It's like I'm always curious, like if I actually took the time and really looked into like the little side notes and everything we look at, kind of dig into them, like this kind of stuff. This is always fun. That's not an IPv4 address. That's one character too many. Interesting.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, usually you've got like a 192.168.0.1 kind of subnet you work off of in most households. That one had a .1.1, so it had one more number than you would need typically for that connection, which means their technology is a bit different. They have a new protocol or something.
Ain't no one should have to go like that.
You just took people down. What is she talking about?
Just generic character dialogue.
Ugh.
You just learn to ignore it.
Many of them I can. That one not so much.
If you can just get a free headshot, take it. The slowing down time thing, that was also a neat mechanic of this game.
Mm-hmm. It gives you an opportunity to kind of aim when it's really hard to do. Everything's coming at you so quickly, it's kind of hard to take it all in. If you could slow it down, it gives you a minute to think.
Yeah, I mean, essentially they were trying to make a system that was like VATS out of Fallout, but, I mean, obviously they can't use that system because it's used elsewhere. So they had to come up with their own way of doing something. And I think they actually came to a pretty good thing here.
Time to take out the trout.
You tell him, Sam. It's like those sprayers that he has actually deal a lot of damage really quickly.
No, Sam, no!
He'll be fine. He's just unconscious on the ground, still alive. And then we still have to end him. Oh, That's a big boy.
Oh, the Colossus.
Yeah. See, they have to use the stairs. I know no such limitations. Ah, yes, the cowering. It's a good ability. Takes him out of combat and just makes him a sitting duck. Loot the bodies.
I have to make like a jingle about that. That'd be funny.
It's just our mantra. It's like, I love the amount of lore that they put in the game, but it's just like when you put it in a reading format like that, I'm not going to spend all my time reading through it all.
You might have if you're
No.
not gaming. Okay, all right.
Nope, I've actually tried that. It's like after a while, you're just like, all right, more useless text, click through it. I know if I at least enter the page where the text exists, then it'll trigger whatever event needs to trigger, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kind of quickly click through it, and it's nice that they don't make you have to remember anything. It all just gets logged in your, quest log, but...
You know, it's...
Never found any
it's
new
a-
weapons for Sam. Yeah, there's a certain balance you got to do in a game where, you got the good, most things are conveyed through a quick, NPC coming up and just explaining it real quick and you're done. But if you actually have to make your people read a bunch of stuff all the time, I mean, I'll get maybe halfway through the game and by then I'm just sick of reading. So I just start clicking through it.
I was thinking it's probably all for a purpose, but I mean, it just depends on...
It's like, I already don't have
I
enough
guess.
time in a day to play the games I want to. And it's like, can't be wasting a bunch of time trying to read everything that they give you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you find the places that are interesting to you. You find a location, you're like, oh, something really crazy happened here. That's when you're like, okay, I'm a little interested in what happened here. And then that's when I'll start taking the time to read certain things.
Wow.
But
I think this screen's taller than my entire shop back home.
you have just complete hate in your veins.
Cannot stand that character. Like, she could say that it's Christmas time and I'd still be offended. No, surprisingly, you didn't break your legs that time.
I know, right? Seems like every time I jump, I just snap an ankle.
Especially if there's a ladder there that are like, no, you must take the ladder. We're
No.
gonna give you all the options, but you
I
have to
make
take
my
the ladder.
own options. Step off the edge.
I take my own path, thank you.
Doing some simple inventory management. It fills up when you least expect it.
Show your boss that you are prime, because you take Katrina time.
It's like, once you have to start taking drugs to compensate to be at work, that's when you know you need to stop. You need a new job.
Let's test that again to make sure we can jump down.
Well, I was trying to get to that marker, and the marker looks like it's on this floor, which means it's through that door, but that door doesn't open. So I gotta figure out the path to get there. Or maybe this is...
I think this is the end of the path for this episode.
Yeah, so, yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. And we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching our humble gaming review channel. We want to give a big shout out to all of our longtime supporters and to welcome our new ones. Feel free to leave your comments below. We'd love to know your thoughts on the content and what we should play next. You can support this channel through donations when we go live or on Patreon. Hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to seeing you next time.